I don't think when the English studied the Industrial Revolution 260 years ago in AD 1760, they could foresee the full effect of the Industrial Revolution 260 years later in AD 2023. 260 years later, after the start of the Industrial Revolution in Great Britain 260 years ago, now today some parts of humanity are fully industrialized and all the rest of humanity are industrializing in one way or another. The Industrial Revolution studied by the English has gone global in mere 250 years or so. A quick advertisement before I continue on this topic. You can invest in my startup company with as little as $100 for supporting advancing AI, robotics, biotech, and nuclear fusion-powered aerospace tech. Visit robocentric.com/investors to invest in my startup. I have a multi-decade commitment to advancing AI, robotics, biotech, and nuclear fusion-powered aerospace tech. To learn more about my cause, check out my books, which are available at robocentric.com/check out Amazon, Apple Books, Spotify, and other online audiobook retailers. Now, back to the main content. One particular consequence of industrialization is the birth rate decline in the industrialized nations due to the fierce global economic competition and the readily available birth control methods. As always before, the people who are economically fit within a given environment procreate or procreate more than others, whereas the people who are economically unfit within a given environment procreate less or don't procreate at all. Undoubtedly, industrialization has placed enormous pressure on human genetic selection and has made human genetic selection far more competitive and complex than ever before. The human capability to survive and thrive in an industrialized and digitized society is far greater and far more complex than the human capabilities to do fairly well in an isolated agrarian society with not too many people. Working 40 hours a week in a field, doing mechanical manual labor in an industrialized society or nation doesn't give you a decent or good or average life, although it did in the agrarian times. To do fairly well in an industrialized economy, humans must do more complex work, not just mindless mechanical manual labor. Industrialization broke down the traditional marriage and family structure. The old values are gone because you can't survive and thrive in the industrialized society with the old values. Human genetic selection is constant in every human generation. In my view, the global industrialization is the greatest force and pressure in the human genetic selection in this day and age. Today, the only places with a high birth rate are the places with the least industrialization and least industrial development, namely Africa, the Middle East, Central Asia, and some parts of South America and Oceania. If the current birth rate trend continues, even when humanity's global population reaches 10.5 billion in about 70 years from now, all the human population gain will come from the least industrialized parts of humanity, and the most industrialized parts of humanity will have a substantial population decline, excluding immigration. Industrialization makes human lives far more challenging and difficult while making humans far more capable. Humans want to produce and consume more and gain more control, power, and influence. Industrialization is one manifestation of the human desire for more and better. Knowingly or unknowingly, humans make their own lives more difficult and more challenging in order to have more and be more, because this simply is what humans are genetically wired to do. Some key scientific questions I have and work on answering are the following. What human genes naturally get selected for procreation in the fiercely competitive global economy? What human genes do the people who choose to procreate in a fiercely competitive industrialized society have? What human genes do the people who choose not to procreate in a fiercely competitive industrialized society have? What human genes are required to survive, thrive, and excel in a highly competitive industrialized society? What human genetic selection does an industrialized society force and enforce? What human genes and brain activities determine human procreation decisions and actions? Science yet doesn't have answers to these questions. I'll keep working on theoretically and experimentally answering these questions in my unified humanities science via advancing sensor, scanner, modeler, designer, and synthesizer human body biotechnologies. Human beings can survive, thrive, and procreate only as much as their environment, genes, and available resources permit. What are the exact biophysical mathematical relationships between the human survival, thriving, and procreation and the human environment, genes, and available resources at the human body, organic, tisular, cellular, subcellular, molecular, atomic, and subatomic levels? I keep on striving to answer that question and document and publish my answer. You can invest in my startup company with as little as $100 for supporting advancing AI, robotics, biotech, and nuclear fusion-powered aerospace tech. Visit robocentric.com/investors to invest in my startup. My books on advancing AI, robotics, biotech, and nuclear fusion-powered aerospace tech are available at robocentric.com/checkout, Amazon, Apple Books, Spotify, Google Play Store, and other online audiobook retailers. I am Alan Young. I'm an Asian American man who focuses on advancing AI, robotics, human longevity, biotech, and nuclear fusion-powered aerospace tech. Message me or call me on the social media anytime if you would like to discuss investing in my high-tech startup.